take a look at the level 6 technical drawing. Starting with the isometric view, we can see that we now have some hidden geometry to worry about. Hidden geometry is always signified by a dashed line. That tells you that there is an edge or some turn in the object that you are not seeing. We know that there's also going to be hidden geometry here because it's a 3D solid object, but I haven't included that in the isometric view because you don't need to worry about it when you do your regular views top, front, and side. But if you want to, you can imagine that there's also a dashed line right here. So starting from the top, we can just kind of take a quick survey of the dimensions of this drawing. We can see it's going to be 2 inches wide, 1.5 inches tall, and 1 inch high from the side. So let's go into the top view, and before we get started, we're going to write all our pertinent information, always in all caps, very clearly, and we're going to take our time writing so that everything is really easy to read. Next, we're going to go into the top view and see what we can do about that. We know that we need a horizontal line to act as kind of the baseline for the top view, drawing it nice and lightly. And we are going to measure 2 inches on that line to give ourselves the overall width of the top view. Once we've gotten those 2 inches, we can go ahead and draw our vertical lines. Remember to always draw those lines right through the top view and into the side views so that your views will line up, making sure that it's parallel here. And you can check just by going down here and putting your ruler down, seeing if it's still 2 inches, and it is. So how deep should the top view be? 1.5 inches. There's 1, there's 1.5. And that is kind of the footprint of our drawing. Next, we can go in and see where this little part is. It's going to come up an inch from here, and it's going to come out an inch from there. Look how I continued this line down here because I know I'm also going to see it in my side view. There's my top view. I'm going to go and start the side view now. That's my baseline. I'm going to continue it into the front view. I know I need to come up 1 inch, and I know that something is happening here a ½ inch up. Looking at my side view, I can see I need this shape as well as this shape. Now I've got my my front view lined up nicely with my side view, and I can see how wide it should be, 1.5 inches. Plus an inch over from the left. Let's start by making a nice parallel line. Line it up with something on your page that is vertical. And then I can go and do those measurements again. Now I've gotten all my lines in place, and as I'm putting in the final lines, those are the nice dark lines that tell you this is the edge of the object. I want to kind of see where my hidden geometry is so that I remember to put that in as well. So I'm going to start with the top view, then I'm going to do the side view, and then I'm going to do the front view. And you're going to see where the hidden geometry ends up. How did I figure out where to put the hidden geometry? When you're looking at the object from the front, that's this way, you have to imagine that your eyeball is here and you're looking that way, and what do you see? Well, you would just see this surface right here. But remember, in a technical drawing, we're drawing something so that somebody else could look at it and understand how the thing is shaped all over. So, we also need to show them that there's something going on here behind this edge. So that's why the hidden geometry ends up as a dashed line. This edge is solid because it represents this edge which we're seeing. The same thing for this edge. But this edge and this edge are dashed because they are set back by an inch from the face of the object that we're actually looking at. So those are all the lines that we need to worry about. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean up the drawing a little bit. And now I'm going to add labels and dimensions. Again, when you dimension a drawing, you want to use the dimensions as efficiently as possible. So try to give the largest amount of information while making the fewest marks on the page. And the best way to do that is to include the dimensions on as few views as needed. The information that you need for your dimensions will always be completely included in the isometric view. Now we label the dimensions. And then we finalize the lines. And last, the fun part, the little arrows. And then we're done. Notice how I used guidelines for all my text. All my text is in caps and it is clearly readable. And whenever possible, my dimensions share a common baseline so that I'm not having to make multiple different measurements off of different lines so that you would have to measure one dimension to get to another one. This is a nice clear example of what I'm expecting from you when you complete the level 6 drawing, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job. Can't wait to see it.